Have you ever wondered what happens when your ears are filled with earwax? Do you ever want to know what to do if you are starting to lose your hearing? Have you ever been curious about what goes on in the anatomy of the ear? Well, you are in luck today. I've never had a guest join my channel Let There Be Ears, but today we're welcoming a registered audiologist, Annie, to our show. Hello everyone, this is Yat. I'm deaf without hearing aids. I'm hard of hearing with hearing aids. Welcome to my channel again, Let There Be Ears. Make sure to subscribe and like and follow my videos and my channel so you can learn a little bit more and even more about my deaf and hard of hearing journey. Today, I am so happy to welcome a guest. I've never had a guest on my channel before. Her name is Annie. She is a registered audiologist. Super cool woman, super cool person. I met her roughly 2 years ago at a health fair. And at that health fair, she already encouraged me to make YouTube videos. 2 years ago. All it took was a year and a half for me to get started. Well, I'm here and so is she. Annie, go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Annie, and like Yat said, we met about 2 years ago at a health fair, and we were working in the same company at the time, in different departments. I work as an audiologist, and right now I work as a pediatric audiologist. Yeah, super excited to be on Yat's channel today. We were talking about this idea about 2 years ago, and it's actually happening now, so yay!
You know, 2 years seems like a long time, but really it seems like yesterday when we had that conversation at the health fair. You were nudging my elbow. You were like, hey, let's create YouTube videos. We have so many things to talk about. Left, right, center. And then the pandemic happened, so we couldn't do anything in person. And still today, we can't be here together in the same room recording. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to ask you a few questions, Annie, because my understanding is you are a registered audiologist. Am I correct?
That's right.
What is a registered audiologist?
You know, I get asked that question a lot. When I was still in undergrad, I didn't know what an audiologist was. I've never even heard of the term audiology. Hearing loss is something that's not something I thought about every day. What an audiologist does is they perform hearing assessments, they can perform balance assessments, fit hearing aids, fit cochlear implants, or programming of cochlear implants, I should say, as well as oral rehabilitation, tinnitus management, so a lot of things related to hearing, the ears, and really depends on what job sector you're in. So whether you're working in a hospital, your roles might look a little bit different from someone who is working in a hearing aid clinic. So it depends on what you go into, but ultimately providing service for better hearing and better communication.
That's a lot of things that you just covered, and I feel like you know everything about someone's ear, but can you really look into my ear?
Good one. You know, we've seen a lot of things in the ears. Like in the beginning, like to be honest, I was quite grossed out by earwax. But after working with adults and after doing a lot of Saruma management, which is earwax removal, it gets really satisfying, and you get a lot of satisfaction out of your job.
Wow, that's so rewarding. That's so rewarding. I know that Annie has told me that she's really ambitious and she's really wanting to start up a new podcast. So let us know down below in the comment section what you want to hear from Annie. But before then, let us hear from Annie herself about, okay, well, what are you hoping to achieve from this wonderful podcast that you're going to be starting up really soon?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, Yat. I'm such a procrastinator. I've been thinking about starting maybe a podcast or a blog or some kind of platform, maybe even YouTube, to talk about my experience working in healthcare, especially in a field that's, you know, Asians are a minority. So in audiology and a very related field, speech language pathology, a lot of Asian young Asians, they don't know of the field. It's not something that they are aware of, especially when I was in undergrad. Most of my friends, they were entering med school, they were doing nursing, they wanted to do pharmacy, and audiology is such a niche field that nobody ever talks about. But I really think it's a great profession and a great career for those who are interested in having, relationships with patients, as well as working with other interdisciplinary healthcare professionals. So I guess I kind of want to bring more attention to our profession and advocate for hearing health.
Hearing health is important, and you know what, Annie? I don't think you're a procrastinator, because if you were, you wouldn't be here today with us. So, viewers of Let There Be Ears, comment down below, what do you want to learn from a registered audiologist? Are there any booming question or burning questions that you wish to ask that you know what, never felt comfortable asking? Let us know down below. I'm sure Annie will be checking the comments section. I know I'll be, but also give us a like, subscribe to the channel to listen to more of our future podcasts or videos together. Annie, as a registered audiologist, you come across many different situations and scenarios. You've looked into people's ears, you've done hearing assessments with people. Are you able to share with us a little bit of a, interesting story of when you looked into someone's ears, or something funny that you can share with us?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, there's so many, but so when we were working together, our company, it was mostly adults centered. So I had a lot of seniors who would walk in through the door, and they would be concerned about their hearing or wanting to try hearing aids. And oftentimes when I look into their ears, it's completely plugged up with earwax. And while there still might be a hearing loss, but removing the wax is very, very important. At the time when I first started the job, I didn't have my earwax removal certification, which is something you need. So I was in the process of getting that. And I remember coming home every day and just telling my mom, oh man, I'm so stressed. I want to finish this training, but it's taking a while. And my mom's like, what training are you doing? You hear Asian parents, right? Like their son's doing CPA certificates, CFA certificate. They're doing all these crazy certificates. And my mom's like, yeah, my daughter's doing earwax removal certificate. She was telling my grandparents, who were like, oh, like you need a certificate to do that? So it was just like a funny family conversation. But eventually, I got there with training from my mentors, and then that became a very satisfying part of the job. Initially I was quite grossed out by it, but eventually I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's see how much we can clear. I always feel so satisfied, and I proudly show the patients after. I'm like, look, that's what I removed from your ear. Not sure how many people appreciate me showing them that, but it's quite satisfying.
So Annie, there's a lot of questions about hearing health. A lot of people might want to learn a little bit more. What might they do now?
So there are lots of topics and conversations that we can have about hearing health, or your questions about entering the field of audiology. Feel free to leave it down in the comment section below, and Yad and I can cover it in our future episodes.
We're gonna have to wrap this up because you're busy, and we want you to get back to doing what you are doing so well, and to help people hear again, really, or at least, remove their waxes. You can't remove my wax, haha. Anyway, dad jokes aside, we'll call this here for now. We're gonna have another episode where you're gonna ask me some burning questions. So, viewers, you want to check our next video out. Part 2 of our video will be coming up really soon. Until next time, you make sure you subscribe, comment, and like this video. Until next time, goodbye!